Well, where's it gone? That didn't last very long. Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So today I've been sent some food to review. So it's a food by EBO Foods UK. It's just a premium fish food. I've not been sent this by EBO Foods themselves. I've been sent it by one of my subscribers. So I'm not going to name names, but obviously you know who you are, so thank you very much. So I'm not going to do this like a normal sort of food review where I'm going to talk about what foods I feed at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it straight to the test. So I'm going to drop it in the tanks and let the fish decide whether they like it or not. At the end of the video, or towards the end of the video, I'll show you what I've been feeding and how I think it compares to what I've been feeding. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So I've been sent the sample pack, which is just here. So as you can see, the website address is just there. I'll also leave links in the description to this. So we'll just get it open and see what we've got in here. So there are quite a number of different things there. So let's just see what we get. Okay. So we've got a lot of this ProSoft food. So like this one. So ProSoft soft spirulina. So ProSoft is EBO Foods sort of own recipe, and it's just sort of soft and digestible in a 1 millimeter, I think it's a 1 mil, yeah, 1 mil sort of grain size. As you can see, that's the spirulina. We've also got ProSoft Artemia. We've got ProSoft sponge food, just there. We've got ProSoft mussel, which is, there you go. So that's all the ProSoft there, which I'll probably just mix all that together and give them a mixture. In fact, there's another one that I forgot to put there. Let me just grab it. So I've also got the ProSoft insect meal, which, full honesty here, I have tried a few little bits of this. Not much though, and I certainly haven't tried any of the rest. So we'll put all these together. As I say, I think you're supposed to mix these together and give them a mixture, which is what we'll be doing in this video. And then we've also got some veggie sticks, which are very similar to sort of pleco sticks by, is it Fluval Bug Bites pleco sticks, which I have fed before. We've also got the guppy deluxe just there, which is like a fine sort of powder. We've also got the shrimp sticks. We'll try those, and we've also got the mussel sticks. There we go. So yeah, we will make a start on the Tetra tank. Okay, so I've mixed up all of the ProSoft. So we've got quite a mixture here. So I'm just going to try with these guys and see if they take it. So let's give this a go. Well, where's it gone? That didn't last very long. Okay, well, I mean, that's a good start. I don't even think I saw it get to the bottom. Let's try a bit more. See if it'll take a little bit more. I mean, if that's anything to go by, I mean, the fish definitely like it, and to be fair, I mean, it does smell quite a bit. So there's been absolutely no hesitation from those guys to take any of that. And that was a mixture of the ProSoft. So that was, you know, your seafood mix, your spirulina, your Artemia. Can't remember what the other ones were, but that is crazy, and not a lot of waste left either there. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we can give them a little bit more. Honestly, I'm quite surprised by that. I am quite surprised. I didn't think that they would eat that as readily as they have done. I don't know why I didn't think that. I suppose just because it's different to what I normally feed, really. Okay, I'll probably leave it there. I don't want to put too much in, just in case they spit any of that out, but I can't see them spitting any of it out. They seem to really be enjoying that. And some of it as well, because it's, even though it's a 1 mil grain size, as it's hitting the water, it's breaking up quite quick, which means there's enough sort of smaller pieces for the ember tetras I've got in here as well. So it sort of caters for everybody, really. Wow, okay. I'm not going to put any of the sort of veggie sticks and shrimp sticks, mussel sticks, anything like that in this tank, just because I don't really have any bottom feeders as such. The Amano shrimp are in here, but to be perfectly honest, there's quite a lot of... I do quite heavily feed this tank usually. Let's just put a little bit more in. Yeah, they really enjoy that. Okay, we'll leave it there for that one. So, I mean, that is a great start, isn't it? Straight away, they took that readily. Okay, so with this tank, this has got my endler guppies in it, and it's also got my celestial pearl danios or galaxy rasboras, as well as some cherry shrimp and some peppered corridoras. So what I'm probably going to use in this one is I'm probably going to go for the guppy deluxe, which is like the sort of powdery sort of food. And I think I'll probably add in some, should we go for the, so I've got shrimp sticks, mussel sticks, veggie sticks. Let's go with the, I'm going to go with the shrimp sticks on this for those cories. Okay, so we're going to go in with the guppy deluxe first, which is like this powder. Apparently this is both suspended and it on the surface, and it also sinks a little bit, so try them over here just away from the flow. See if they take that. It looks like they are straight away. These peppered cories like to come to the surface for food as well, I'm not really sure why. So we'll try that first with those. And again, they are really going to work on that, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm always worried when it's a powdered sort of fish food that I'm putting too much in, but I mean, even if I am, there's a good clean-up crew in here with the ram's horn snails and the cories. Like I said, there's some cherry shrimp in here as well, so I'm not overly concerned. But it's always difficult to know how much to feed when you're using a powdered sort of food. But they are making short work of that, which is, again, you know, that's all you can hope for, really. Okay, well, we'll just let them chew on that for a little bit. And then I'll move the camera down to the bottom and I'll drop in some of these shrimp sticks. Sorry, mussel sticks we're going for. No, tell a lie. I've gone for the shrimp sticks. So I'll drop a couple of these in a minute and see if the peppered cories go for that. But I mean, yeah, the endlers and the celestial pearl danios are making short work of that. So again, another successful feed there, really. Yeah, very impressed. Okay, so I'm just going to drop in some of these shrimp sticks. So I'll drop a couple in. So if we drop one there, I'm going to drop another one sort of there-ish. There we go. Now it does say that these do take a while to break down, so I imagine that these corridoras will not feed on these, or they won't eat them all straight away. But we can see there that, if I just zoom in a little bit, you can see there that that peppered cory is going straight to work on that shrimp stick, which again is brilliant. Oh, and there's also a cherry shrimp there trying to get in on the action. A little bit cannibalistic, but there you go. Shrimp eating shrimp. Well, it's all part of nature, I guess. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, there's not a lot you can say really, is it? I mean, any test for fish food, the best test is give it to your fish, and if they eat it, then what more can you ask for, really? I'll just take you up a little bit. It looks as though a lot of that food, pretty much all of that food now, has gone. Okay, so with the rasbora aquarium now, so we've got lamb chop rasboras, harlequin rasboras, and rummy nose tetras. We've also got ram's horn snails, cherry shrimp, and there are some ottocinclus. So I'm going to be doing the same as I did with the tetra tank, in that I'm going to feed the ProSoft mixture, and then I'm also going to throw in some veggie sticks as well for the bottom feeders. So again, let's see how this one goes. So straight in with the ProSoft. So let's give it a go. And again, it's immediately gone. Let's try a bit more. Wow, same story again. Okay, I mean, I think the one thing to take away from this is that obviously with a more premium quality food, you know, there's definitely less waste straight away, and it's going to be higher quality ingredients. We'll talk about that a little bit more towards the end of the video. Also, of course, with that, you probably need to feed less. So it's going to last a bit longer. Let's give these guys a little bit more. I was just going to say, the only fish I would have been worried about there is the honey gourami, but he seems to, or she seems to have readily accepted that. I just can't get over how quickly they're just absolutely devouring this food. I mean, even the ones that are spitting it out a little bit and then taking it back in, they are going straight back for it. So it's not like, you know, they don't like it. It's probably just as it softens up a little bit, it's a little bit hard to chew, but yeah, they're making short work of that. I'll give these guys just one last little bit. There we go. Okay. Well, another great result there. Okay, I'm going to drop these veggie sticks in. Hopefully they sink straight away. I would imagine they will. Let's try that. So we just drop those in there. Yeah, there we go. I don't usually feed my cherry shrimp and ram's horn snails specifically. Well, I do, but not all of the time. The reason for that is because obviously I want to make sure that they do their job, or the job that I want them to do in cleaning up some of that algae. And of course they eat some of this sort of mulm here as well. Like there's a lot of leaf litter down here which they also eat. So there's always food available for them. So as much as the rasboras get the food every day, the bottom feeders don't get food every single day. The main reason for that is because I don't want the ram's horn snails in here to overbreed, which they will. So I try to sort of limit how often I put any sort of food in specifically for them. Of course, with the rasboras very rarely will go down to the bottom of the tank to pick up any food. The rummy nose tetras will on occasion, but I've never seen the rasboras do that. Which is interesting, but they never do. So yeah, I'll just wait to see if any of those shrimp come along for the veggie sticks. So you can probably see there, I think just about there, there is a blue cherry shrimp which is starting to eat away at that veggie stick. And I can see, you can't see it on the shot, but I can see just over here to the left, ram's horn snails are starting to make their way over there slowly. So they can certainly smell those veggie sticks. In fact, you can see actually just above you here as well, there's some ram's horn snails here and one here, which is also starting to make its way down. So I expect very soon there'll be loads of them actually covering those veggie sticks and having a good old munch on those. As I say, I don't expect them to not take it. At the end of the day, they're scavengers. They'll eat anything that drops to the bottom. But I expect there'll be not much left of those veggie sticks soon. So you can see now that All of those bottom feeders are enjoying that. Those veggie sticks, we've got the otter just down there. There you go, no hesitation there. Otter are always a tricky one because it can take them a while in the aquarium to get used to different foods that you put in. Oh, got spooked a little bit there. You got the cherry shrimp down there as well, which obviously are enjoying that, as well as the ram's horn snail. So again, very happy with that. Okay, so I'll try the Betta with a little bit of this Pro Soft, see if he does take it. Okay, so he had to swim down for it, but he did take it, which is good. Let's try him with a little bit more. Okay, so it's a little bit tricky with this because he's having to swim down to get it. Of course, the shrimp that are on the bottom, the red cherry shrimp, they'll make short work of that. Let's try him a little bit more. Okay, so once again, straight away, no hesitation, he does take that. Let me just give him a bit of his regular food, which I've got down here. I'll just give him a little bit of that as well, because a lot of that he didn't get. Let's go, mate, on this side. There we go. Okay, but again, successful. No hesitation at all, straight in for that food. To be honest, I would say he probably accepted that food a little bit more eagerly than his own food, but that could just be my imagination. Okay, so there you go. So yeah, I just wanted to do it that way so you could see for yourself that really the best judge of whether the food is good for your fish is the fish. If they don't eat it, there's no point buying, you know, an expensive brand. So, you know, ideally we'd all feed live food because that's going to be the most natural thing for our fish. But of course it's expensive, you know, you need to find a way of, if you've got a local fish shop that's very close to you, you can just nip out and get it as a treat. Of course in the wild they'd be feeding on live food, they'd be feeding on plant matter and things like that. But most of the fish which we have in our aquarium, certainly in mine, they're going to be bred in captivity. And yeah, they might have been fed a little bit of live food or, you know, frozen food. Generally speaking, they're probably going to be fed on a dry diet. So ultimately, they will tell you whether the food is any good for them or not. So yeah, I'm quite happy to say that every single one of my tanks readily accepted those foods from EBO. So I had a quick look at EBO's website, and I'll put it on the screen now as well. So a lot of EBO foods they don't have that many ingredients, which is always a good sign when you're looking at your fish food. Now, of course, with the ProSoft Artemia, for example, I think there was about 4 ingredients. As I say, it's on the screen now so you can see. And when you compare that to a lot of brands which you might buy, which are sort of complete foods or labelled as complete foods for your fish, then you will see that there's a lot more in there. So, for example, I'm just going to show you some of the foods I have been feeding. So, first one is tetra flakes. Now, I've been feeding tetra flakes, well, ever since I first started keeping fish, which is about 20 years ago now. If I was to look at the ingredients on here, it would say fish and fish derivatives, cereals, yeasts, vegetable protein extract, mollusks and crustaceans, and then oils and fats, various sugars, algae, minerals, etc. There's quite a lot of different ingredients in this. With the EBO food, you'll probably see, I think there's maybe 4 or 5 ingredients for the ProSoft ones. But I don't think that tetra flakes are a bad food, and I think that I will always probably keep this in stock because even when I've had fussy fish, I've been able to get them to eat this. With fussy fish in mind, I've recently been using some of the NT Labs products. So I've got the Micro Crumb, which is the sort of smaller fish with smaller mounds. It says ideal for fry, but I feed this to like my endlers. I've fed it to my Celestial Pearl Danios. And the other one is the probiotic from NT Labs, which the granules are a little bit bigger on this. And it says it's a complete food that can be fed to all different types of fish. But again, if I was to look at this one, the probiotic, I can see from the ingredients that there's fish meal, wheat, soya, dehulled, extracted, toasted, poultry meal, lucerne, protein concentrate, hemoglobin powder. There is a lot in this, a hell of a lot. But again, the fish do eat it. However, with these 2 NT Labs ones, the fish will not accept it as readily as I found them to accept the tetra, which is why I'll always keep to this one. The other one I feed sometimes is the shrimp enhancer. I feed that to my shrimp. Sometimes it's difficult for them to get it because they're sharing their tanks with other fish. What else do we feed? So I've got the bug bites from Fluval for my cichlids. Well, I say cichlids, I've got 2. But yeah, I feed them to the epistogrammas, which are in this tank here. What else have we got? So Fluval bug bites, the pleco sticks. I don't have any plecos at the moment. I bought these when I did have a couple of plecos, but I'm feeding these so like the ottos will take them, and the shrimp, of course, will take them. And the last one, the one I feed to my Betta, is the Attison's Betta Pro by Ocean Nutrition. This one seems to be really good for the Betta, and again, if I look in the ingredients, I'm going to see, wherever it is, ingredients, pure brine shrimp, embryos, wheat flour, vitamins, and it goes on to talk about lots of different vitamins in there. So in closing, really, it has to be said that, again, like I said before, the best food for your fish is the food that your fish are going to eat, in my opinion. There's no point buying lots of food, lots of expensive food, if your fish are not going to eat it. And yeah, I suppose with that being said, you know, the question is, would I buy EBO Foods myself? Would I, obviously this was sent to me to do a review, would I go online and buy these products myself? Based on how quickly my fish took them, yeah, absolutely I would. I like the fact that you can sort of mix and match the different products they have, the different ProSoft products, to make sure that you're getting that sort of complete mixture of foods for your fish. I like the fact that my tank is clear again. There was hardly any waste left behind, especially with when I use flake food like this. I'm terrible for it. I always overfeed because it's very hard, I think, with flake food to determine how much to put in. So I always put too much in, and it ends up making this cloudy for a while, and I don't like that. So yeah, it's I really like that. I really like the fact that there's not much waste left over. And yeah, there's nothing really much more to say on that. I think it's a good premium food product, and I'll definitely be getting some. There's no question about that. Having said that, the sample packs which you get quite a lot of food in there, so that'll keep me going on for a little while. And then I'll definitely go and buy some more, I think, for sure. But I will always, I think what I would say is that I think that the EBO Foods will replace things like, you know, my NT Labs products, which I've had mixed success with, but it definitely is not going to replace this one. I can't let go of this one just yet. It's always been so good to me. So I'll keep this in stock, but this is a massive pot. I think it's, yeah, 100 gram pot. But this has fed 4 tanks for probably 2 years, which is really good value for money. But I just don't think I could ever let this one go. I think I'll always buy this one. There's always going to be one brand, isn't there, that we go back to, that we trust. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like. I'd really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.